Testing, check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, this is a part 2 of the interview, Colin from Conflict. So I posted all these questions. I said that I'm going to interview you today.
Yeah.
So on my Facebook, social media, people ask all different types of questions. So I'm going to tell you this question, but let's get to the most important one. Okay. A couple of people want to know the song from your Final Conflict album.
Yeah.
The chord is cut.
Yes.
Is it your stand? Is it a pro? I mean, I understand Steve Ignorant saying that, but is it pro-choice or pro-life song?
We wrote it together. I don't personally. My view is I don't see it as either. I don't think a man has the right to even be pro-life or pro-choice. You know, it's not for a man to dictate what a woman does with their body. It has to be to them, and totally up to them. So I can't see how a man can have a view in it. Looking at the song, I think it's just. The way I wanted it to come across was just a story of what can be and what can't be. But it wasn't, in my view, it wasn't meant to be either way, because I don't believe that men should have a view in that. It's down to the lady.
So it's up to the woman.
Oh, of course it is, yeah. It's nothing to do with men.
All right. A question from Ian Stockwell.
Yeah.
I think he's your friend.
Yeah.
Why do you lose so many phones?
Good point. I think I lost 6 last year. I'm not very good with modern technology. A lot of people say to me, "Why are you not on Facebook and Instagram?" I'm really useless with things like that. And I do seem to lose phones wherever I play. Yeah, that's 6. I think 6 last year, 2 this year. So we're getting all right.
Jacob from Beginning of the End Fans wants to know, how do you feel about global growth of veganism, cruelty-free lifestyle nowadays?
I mean, obviously, global growth of veganism is always going to be the way to be. It's always going to be the way forward. It's going to be the only way forward. If you mean the popularity of it, I think it's very, very good. I don't walk about saying I'm vegan, I'm this anymore. I like to keep it to myself now, because I think that a lot of bands are saying it just to be involved with that type of thing. But of course, it's great, yeah. It's the only way.
He also wants to know, what is some of your favorite things to eat while in the States?
In the States, well, basically, I go for, I choose to have my own diet, which is a lot of vegetables, preferably raw, a lot of bread and a lot of fruit. I like to just eat out, avocados, just basically what I do at home.
Does Motorhead Record operate differently nowadays than how it did in the 80s?
It's starting again next year. We're going to be releasing Calvin's things, I hope, of a band called Grand Collapse, which is so we're going to get it basically back to an active label again. What I didn't want with Motorhead was to keep putting out the same old stuff, reissues, stuff like. Obviously, all the Conflict stuff's still available, but I want it to be an active label that puts out new bands. So Grand Collapse will be one of the first, yeah.
Mark McDonald from Los Angeles, from ADS. People were asking me, how come the Normal Band did not come on the tour?
Right, so basically the drummer can't get in. Our drummer can't get in because he can't get in because of prison convictions. Oddie and Gavin, they could have come, but it's easier for me to work with William and the other drummer here, because otherwise we'd have to come out a month before to rehearse to get it all right. And obviously it's not so much. It's all one band, really. I mean, you've got Preston, you've got William, and you've got Andrew, and you've got the line up there. But it's one unit. I mean, don't get me wrong. They're coming to Europe to do some stuff in Europe that Oddie and that guy can't do. So I don't see it as two different people.
Nick wants to know, were all members of Conflict veg? If not, how do they feel about such a strong animal rights message while not being into themselves? I've often wondered this question from very prominent animal rights men.
Yeah, I mean, basically, apart from Paco years ago, everyone has been like a vegetarian. Spike wasn't, but now, I mean, everybody's vegetarian, vegan, and as you say, even teaches permaculture, which is just what we're into.
And I'm not sure if I could pronounce his name right. Aitana Decontrol. Are you proud of how your music has influenced people?
I'm not proud. It's flattering. I mean, I got a lovely letter off a fella last night to say how it influenced him to go on and do other things, and and change things for the better. I think it's overwhelming sometimes, but I mean, obviously, I suppose there's a sense of pride. Yeah.
Lou Diesel, was tanning salon? What tanning salon do you go to?
That one.
Anonymous, tell us about the Crass days, the orgy at the Crass house. Somebody anonymously emailed me. They don't want their name mentioned.
No comment.
Calvin Swell from England.
Calvin.
Yes. What is your favorite Whitney Houston album? Is this a joke, or you really like Whitney Houston?
Yeah, I like Whitney Houston. It's called Run to the Hills.
Oh, Fersalas from Mexico. He did a tour in Mexico, including Punk Tut Fest. How he see the punk scene in Mexico, differences and similar things about the scene here and his country.
What I thought of Mexico, basically.
I'm just reading exactly how he wrote.
I mean, it was incredible. It's basically like what we did years ago in London, like 30 years ago in London, has begun there, and it's massive, and they do it from the heart. A huge scene. People that are just bang into it. They'll, very, very good. It can only grow. It can only grow into something better. It's not commercialised there, which is good.
David Insurrection wants to know, when can we expect to hear the new album?
2020, definitely. Yeah.
Grace from Orange County, Grace Crickle. Have you noticed an increase or decrease of sexism in the punk scene over the years? Why or why not?
I think there's been an increase, to be honest. I mean, when I was a punk very early on in 77, 78, there wasn't really, that thing didn't exist. There wasn't any girl boy. We was all just together, and it was fun. But I've noticed, I don't know, I can't explain it without trying to put my foot in it. But I've noticed that, I don't know, where the fashion punk come into it a little bit. Then you've got the, how can I say, the people that are not real punks come in, and then you do get that, you get that they're coming to gigs to pull girls or going to gigs to pull boys. Do you understand what I mean?
I remember in the 70s looking at the books. I mean, I was not involved with the punks in the 70s, but looking at the books, it was more DIY. Guys would wear eyeliners, makeup, glitter, Bowie and everything and stuff. But I guess when the hardcore music came out, it pushed that crowd out. Stuff. Okay. Jay Ford from Seattle. What makes him keep going after all these years?
I guess you can't walk away from who you are, can you, really? If I walk away from this, and it's hard, when I can't cut the mustard anymore, I'm going to walk away. But at the moment, you can't walk away from what you are.
Chris Mendes, are the current members conflict vegan or vegetarian? The current members?
Yeah, all.
Arthur Ramirez. He says, ask him if he remembers staying with Iconoclast in 1985, night at the place.
Yeah, I do, yeah, I do. Iconoclast, yeah.
And do you...
When he first came here, it was the very first time he came here.
Do you remember Diatribe too?
I do remember Diatribe, yeah.
They were on the compilation also.
Yeah,
We Won't Be Your Fucking...
Good band.
Was it We Won't Be Your Fucking Poor?
Yeah, War, I think the first one was.
Oh, gosh,
Maybe War, Law, Poor, I think.
Martin Perez, what happened to Paco? I guess he didn't know he passed away. Paco passed away.
I mean, Paco went through a stage where his health went really, really downhill. He wrote me a lovely letter years ago to say that he couldn't do Conflict anymore because he physically couldn't play anymore, but he still carried on with the Inner Terrestrials because it was a simpler set. Then he had to have a shoulder operation. He had his shoulder operation and it didn't go that well. He couldn't end up playing in the Inner Terrestrials. Then one of his kidneys went. He went in, he had that done, he come out, he had, and he just went downhill quickly and then died, yeah.
Oh, here's an interesting one from Charles Fox from Los Angeles.
Okay.
What's your favorite new band? Also, what's the favorite record of 2019 right now this year?
My favourite new band is in this type of thing would be Grand Collapse, Calvin's band, because I think they really hit the mustard. My favourite record this year, well, it's not released, but it's going to be my own, I suppose. Because I know what it is.
Adam Wilson wants to know, asking about his feud with Waddy from The Exploited. Did they ever make peace? Because he had a song called Exploitation.
Yeah. Well, funnily enough, just before we come away, we played our first ever festival, and Exploited were headlining it. And basically, Waddy had a heart attack. And out of the blue, I just thought to myself, you know what, I'm just going to write to this fella and say, I feel really sorry, we're all human beings, you know what I mean? I feel sorry you had a heart attack. So I did that, and we started corresponding, stuff like that. And he's a very honest guy. He actually told me, he said, I fucking hated your band. He's going to write a piece in my book. And because I said, will you write a piece in my book? He went, you won't like it. He said, because I'm going to absolutely hammer your band. And I went, no. I said, that's what I want. I want the truth. And he said, well, at the time, yeah, I thought you was cunts. Total cunts.
You're putting out a book?
Yeah, I'm putting out a book, yeah.
Which publisher?
It's on a big publisher called Omnibus in England. And it's called Conflict, the Movement and Me. So it's three different things in one book.
Would you be talking about pre-conflict, the one you follow Crass around too?
Yeah, everything. So it's
wow, interesting.
So it's conflict. It's got 3 sections. So it's conflict, the movement, everything that was there, and me. So it starts so the me bit starts from when I was a child as well. So
interesting. When is this book gonna?
That's gonna come out at the end of next year. It's 40,000 words. It's being done. Yeah, it's been done well. It's taken a lot of doing and a lot of legality.
Are you writing it, or are you gonna have a ghostwriter?
It's got a ghostwriter with me. Yeah. But I've got total control though.
Wow, that's cool. Thomas DeHart, what tendencies of anarchism or leftism generally have influenced you?
Leftism hasn't at all, to be honest with you. I mean, my anarchism is personally, from a community point of group, I think it's just the only way forward, just to have your own little communities and build little structures by structures. I know it sounds like leftism, but to me it isn't. I don't belong to any affiliated parties, or don't get involved in any politics, left or right. I think they're all as bad as one another.
Yes, I remember that song from Crass, left wing, right wing, they refused to do that.
Yeah.
And you had a song called Blind Attack, left wing, right wing. You heard it before, so you don't want to choose sides.
Yeah, never. No. I don't see the point. I think it's different. I think it's just a trap. It's one big political trap.
Right. How is the anarchist movement today? Because in the old days, it was all punk rockers. Now all different types of people are involved. It's out of control.
It's bigger now. It's bigger. Obviously there's the anti-climate change thing, which is the thing in London now is the anti-climate change, which is getting massive.
Right.
And it's right, because a lot of people are realising that if they don't do something about that, then we're fucked. Simple as that. So that is the big thing now out there, and everyone's involved in it. You've got all different types there. There's a lot of punks there, but yeah, I mean it's still the same.
You used to date Dino a long time ago. Dino from Dirt.
Yeah.
What was Dino from Dirt like?
She's a lovely girl. She's a very, very lovely girl. Again, I think, like me, her band got very big, and I think she felt the pressure of it, like we all do. I mean, I felt the pressure of Conflict, because you got to remember, when I started Conflict, I was 18, and it just went from there to there, and I was like, wow. So it's a lot to take on. A lot of people say, oh, you made mistakes, and I think, she's had her time with that too.
Have you guys toured with Dirt or just played shows?
No, just one or two. Yeah.
I don't remember seeing any flyer with Conflict and Dirt ever.
I think only once or twice ever. Because they toured with Crass a lot, didn't they?
Didn't they play last year?
They played in Tufnell Park in London, yeah, just a one-off.
Okay, yes. Yes, and what's your opinion now? All the bands coming back.
It's okay. I like new bands though, rather than bands coming in and out. I do prefer new bands, but it is what it is.
How old are you now? I'm 50.
Is it not rude to ask a man how old he is?
Okay. How about kids? Do you have children?
Yes, I do, yeah.
Yes.
A daughter 21. He gives my age away a bit, and a son of 18.
The reason I was asking is this, because when we were younger, there was always like literature's anti-capitalist, fight this, fight that.
Yeah.
And against working or against this, but then now as we got older, we realize how important money is to I
still live on the same thing. I still live day to day.
You need money to bury people. You need money to pay rent. Is there any advice you want to give?
Well,
the young kids.
Well, I'd say just don't get involved in the. I'd say just don't get involved in that trap where you're just working to exist. Where you're just working to pay the bills at the end of every month. I'd rather not do that.
Or maybe work smarter, follow your dreams.
Yeah.
Or try to make a living.
Box outside the box, basically.
How about the technology nowadays? People could sell stuff. I told you this one time, and you say, who you support? supporting me. I said,
Oh, they're just not taking
I would say, why does all the bootleg conflict shirt is so amazing?
Yeah, I know, I didn't see it.
The fans who make all that. Well, what's your opinion about the bootleg stuff?
No, it's great. I don't care. I mean, reproduce at will. Yeah. I mean, yeah. The way I see it is, the more the message gets spread, the better.
Okay.
Williamstown.
Yes. Thank you very much.
That's all
Thank
right,
you for
mate.
the interview.
Thank you very much.
All right.
All good. All good. Enjoy.